Well, hello my YouTube friend and Happy New Year. Before going into the description of the knife or whatever happened with it, I just wanted to show you the packaging first because I know that looking at the box for 3 minutes of ramblings is a hell. So let's start by that. Look at this beautiful box. A magnetic box here. Check that. Boom, magnetic. Southard here. Check that, the stamp even like vintage style, and it's not your grandfather's knife, but it could be. Actually, it looks like something really vintage, very nice. Mini Tolk is the name of the model. Date of build, Southard, everything absolutely phenomenal boxing here. Check that, beautifully done. Check the plate here even with the model Mini Tolk. Blade damascene steel handle, so now you know what it is already. I don't even have to show you the rest of the knife almost. Backspacer zirconium, pivot collar, pocket clip Damascus. So already you have the description of a knife, and it could be this way or that way if you don't want to have the lid. Look at that. How neat is that? Exceptional. And then you have the knife with a packaging here, very nice, very fitted, and all the cuts by Brad are this way. So, I don't know, you can figure what it represents. I don't know if it's done on purpose, but they're all like that, so I don't know. So, regardless of that, yeah, it is how it is, huh? Okay, now, let's talk about this knife. I am in a good humor because this is how it shakes that beauty, man. Whenever I have that on my site, I tend to forget what happened. But you know me, what the hell is that? Yellow, horrible thing that was in the box. Yeah, you know me, I'm kind of a positive guy, so I tend to forget the hassle. The sooner I tend to forget the hassle. Because there was a big hassle before receiving that marvel. Actually, it was seized by the custom and they delayed the delivery, and overall they charged me incredible fees. Custom in France are sometimes absolutely impossible to understand. I cannot begin to understand why they would charge so much, but it is how it is. Like I say, the money at some point will be forgotten and the knife will stay, and this is where I will enjoy it at its fullest. But already, woo, with the gloves, it's kind of difficult with a small knife like that. Already, as you can see, it is a pure marvel. So, for those of you who don't know Brad, he's a maker that started really making knives in 2008 as, a full-time knife maker, but he was making knives before. I don't remember exactly when he started. He's known to make really refined knives, and the more it goes, the more his knives are approaching the level of refinement that you can find in jewelry. Honestly, his action, the way he's working with his material, they all feel like pure jewelry. Absolutely adore Brad's knives. Incredible maker, and one that whenever you have a knife, you know it's a Southard. The design, they're really special. And it's built. When you have a knife from Brad, you know where it is. So Brad makes custom knives, and he decided in-house to make what people call mid-techs. And the way we have to separate kind of production knives, mid-techs, which is like you have a part of machine involvement and a little part of the maker, and the pure customs. Now, the issue I take with Brad, it's not an issue. The difficulty I have to describe what it is that it's something special. He has all the material in-house, and he does, he does all the work is done by him. And when you look at that, which is supposed to be a mid-take, but it's not at all. When you look at the time it takes for him to make those knives, aside from the fact that those slabs are just water jet cut, and you have some CNC involved there, aside from that, it looks like probably the blade too, but I mean, that's the closest. I have an Ames that has exactly the same. I mean, Damasteel, the same kind of scales. And believe me, unfortunately I don't have it with me now, but believe me, the scale, they almost look alike, and I tend to have, some experience now with, with knives, and honestly, there is not the tiniest difference between that and his custom, because he does everything. All the work is done in-house. So basically, he does some, outside cut or whatever he does that is not purely custom. But at the end of the day, he's so precise, so refined, that he will not accept any flaw in his knife. So he will take all the time needed to make something that is close to a custom. So he calls those the performance series. And you have, of course, and this is where it tends to be closer to the mid-tech, you have like the basic pieces that are going to be, like a simple finish on the blade, like a kind of bead blast finish, simple scales, like pure titanium, like that. Those will be more of a mid-tech. But when you get to those pieces with all the goodies there, Damasteel, zirconium pivot, backspacer, time masks everywhere, this is where you're going to get close to a custom, and actually it's a custom. To me, that's like, and even if the price, actually, the price is the same as a custom, plus or minus a couple of hundred, but it's the same price from the maker, it's the same price. So basically we have here something that is hard to define. It's a performance series, but for me, it's a pure custom by all means. Now, what do we have here? This is the Mini Tolk. He started to make the Tolk, which was the same design but bigger, and it had some kind of, I don't know, some thumb studs. I really disliked the design of the Tolk. It was too bulky, I don't know, something that I didn't like. But this Mini Tolk, he hit the ball way out of the park. The size is perfect. The look of it is perfect. It's just absolutely a sublime knife. And as a matter of fact, I think that I'm going to get probably an EDC version of this one, because it's so... Oh, I hurt my glove. What the hell? This is because, you see, this is where you can find the jimping to be effective on the tab here. Very nice. I wear the gloves to not spoil that beautiful Damascus, of course. Now, like I said, the design of it is absolutely perfect for EDC. Check that. Beautiful grip. Excellent. All the blade length here is dedicated to cutting task. Actually, that's Damasteel, so I could use it, but again, with Damascus, this is a showpiece for me. So very nice blade length, a nice thruster. This is definitely a perfect EDC knife, and I can only recommend you to get the I don't know if you can, the simpler versions for EDC. This is probably what I'm gonna do. Now, what do we have? The scales are Damascus with those beautiful work here of those grooves that you have here. Check that, it's beautiful. Love it. You have a cut here, very nice touch here. Almost looks like a contouring that almost hand contouring that you can find here. Very nice, so it's not flat as you could expect. You have the groove here, you have the kind of second cut here. Very nicely done. The pivot, so here it is, where it differs to his custom pieces, because the pivot is like the Steve Kelly pivot, probably. That's the Steve Kelly. So it's not a custom pivot. So probably the only difference that I would check, that I would see by checking at this knife, the lack of contouring, but He's done, like I said, some of his custom without contouring, so this is not something that could differ from the custom, but this is the only thing that differ. But look at this touch here. It's flat, and you have the zirconium pivot color here. Why is not on the other side? For the life of me, I cannot, because probably here it's too wide to add the pivot color, but it's neat. It's really neat to have it here on this side. I love the backspacer with the kind of lines that you have here. Check that. Here the cut for those of you who like to put a lanyard on. Beautifully executed. It's not how can I say, sorry, a floating backspacer, but it's beautifully done. Brad doesn't do floating backspacer. From what I can remember, I've never had a knife from him with a floating backspacer. Check the centering. Check the beautiful clip that you have here. I love the piece that he found, because it's Damascus on Damascus. But he always tried to find pieces that differ from the scale. You see the scale, you have those a round pattern here, and here is a linear pattern. So the clip differ visually from the scale, which is really neat. 3D, very nicely done. Apparent hardware, but who cares? Very nicely done. Beautiful. The action is, as you can expect from Brad, sublime. The Damasteel, I mean, it's the pattern. It's beautiful. Grind is exceptional. Fantastic. Very nice jimping here. Again, something that you can use definitely for EDC. The engagement, as you can expect, is perfect. Here you have a steel insert, which is something that is quite new for him. Only flaw, really minor flaw that I would check on this side. I mean, 100% perfect, minus here probably the screw for the steel insert is a little bit. It's because, again, I'm kind of OCD, so when you put your finger like that, you will find it, I mean, you will, it's not flawless, no? So that's the only minor flaw that I would suggest on this knife. Now, as you can see, it's a very neat lock here. You now have the cut on the outside. It's done on the inside. And as you can see here, I don't know if I need to put maybe we need to put some light to show you that. Okay, so inside, let me see. Okay, inside, as you can see, you have grooves here, the cut which is on the inside, another groove. Check the left side of the scale. I don't know if you can see it here, but you have a groove there. There again, it's a milling, actually, a milling inside. Check on the other side, milling inside. You can see perfectly the milling inside on the right side here. Okay, inside the milling, here a milling, here a milling. So imagine that. This is the refinement of Brad's knives. You have milling on the inside. The hell, shut down you. You have milling on the inside, milling here on the outside. So you can only imagine how lightweight that knife is. Milled inside, milled outside. This is a knife that is feather light. Absolutely beautiful. So, as you can expect from Brad, everything is perfect. Check this engagement. The tolerances are fair. Again, this is probably something that would differ a little bit from the custom. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, they're nice, actually. They're nice. Not exceptional, but nice. As you can see, effortless to disengage. It's rock solid. Here the detent. Boom! It's smooth as butter. Centering is spot on. I mean, love everything about that knife, minus the hassle that that I had to endure with those custom. But man, what a beautiful knife. And we are now heading to the 50 minutes. My friend, it was a pleasure to spend 2007 with you, as it was to spend the previous year, and hopefully it will be for 2018, which is actually the first video of the year, and hopefully the last one with crazy custom to pay in order to get my knives. As usual, it was a pleasure to do that video, guys, and I'll catch you very soon for another one. Bye bye.